You know, I want to ask the question. Has anybody here, if somebody calls you and you're in a room with 3 or 4, 5, 6 different people, that let's say it's at least somewhat formal, would answer a phone call and put it on speakerphone? Do you know anybody on earth that would do that? And the reason I bring this up is the Secretary of State, John Kerry. He is in front of a live microphone being recorded on cameras by news stations, and he's in between segments. And I'm supposed to believe that this is not a staged piece, like they weren't trying to do this. So let me go ahead. Let me play John Kerry for you, who is in between segments. He gets a phone call, and he rushes to be able to answer the phone and puts it on speakerphone. Now, it was Sunday. I don't know what time this interview was. Do we know if was this right around when the Asian markets were opening? Because that may be the one thing that I may believe, because the greatest insider stock trader in the history of the country, John Kerry, maybe he was getting an insider tip about the Asian markets opening. So I could believe that. But let's go ahead, and I want to play for you John Kerry, who it looks like he is recovering well from the black eyes he received during the hockey injury. It's funny, his face was altered after the black eyes healed. He looked a little bit younger, but it's good to see that the black eyes have healed. So let me play you this and tell me that this is not a made-up, staged event by an absolute joke.
Yeah. It's a hell of a pinpoint operation. It's a hell of a pinpoint operation.
Oh, yeah, some operation here. Oh, yeah, so a hell of a pinpoint operation here. Now I got to pause, turn to the right. Let me ask my assistant here. Was that good? Do I need to do another take? Do you think they bought it? No. You look good, John. Just keep going with it. Just pretend that you're on an episode of West Wing. Just keep going with it.
Escalating significantly, and it just underscores the need for ceasefire.
We've got to get over there.
We've got to get over there.
Thank you, John. I think, John, we ought to go tonight. I think it's crazy to be sitting around.
Yeah, I think we better go now. Oh, yeah, we better go now. Do you actually think that people are going to believe this? That this was just out of the blue and he couldn't believe the microphones caught it, couldn't believe the cameras caught it, that he actually decides to pick up a phone call and put it on speakerphone? I don't know why they didn't just make it a little bit more dramatic. Why didn't he just get up and go there? Hey, screw the interview. I've got to go now. Then they could have went to a split screen. They could have shown the jet firing up. You could have shown Kerry rushing out of the studio. The parade of cars on the way to bring the Secretary of State to be able to take off and get over to the Middle East, because he has to get over there right now. As if he is capable of being able to do anything. What is John Kerry going to do? What, is he going to go to the Gaza Strip and throw his medals and then think that everyone is going to get along? And there's no question that this was made up and this was staged. And here's what's going to happen, in my opinion. One of two things. The Hillary Clinton factor that happened back right after the election, when they started up and Israel was starting to take action just after the election, the second time Obama was reelected. And there was a couple of days of fighting. A ceasefire was worked out, and Hillary Clinton had to jump on a jet there. That way she could be part of it, act like she illustrated it. That's what's going to happen, number one. Or number two, and this is what I think we're getting at, and this is the question that I want to bring up, is, see, it's good to watch MSNBC, the actual news part in the day, because you can see how they're trying to portray the issue, what they're trying to get out there. And there's a big headline that's running across MSNBC right now that 520 Palestinians were killed, and it's 20-some Israelis. As if it's war, as if you should just do one-on-one. What, are you supposed to trade off? It's war. What does that mean? That means Israel is a better army. So, in my opinion, what I think is going to happen here, so you can see them, because the pinpoint accuracy here, that's what the Israeli military is saying with their actions, that they're using pinpoint accuracy to not affect civilians or anybody else. So, of course, John, there's, some operation here. A hell of a pinpoint operation that's going on here, as if he's offended by it. And my opinion here is what's going to happen. John Kerry, the fake, fraud, actor, made-up joke of a Secretary of State, is going to fly to the Middle East, and there's not going to be a ceasefire, and they will blame Israel for it, saying their demands are too tough. That's what I agree with in my opinion because, look, I mean, this administration, there's no question. I don't know why they just don't come out and say it. They don't support Israel. I mean, I'm supposed to believe that they support Israel, that every time they actually have a chance to snub them or skew things the other way or not get involved in something like they should, they go the opposite way. I'm not supposed to believe that they support Israel. They don't support Israel. You can see they lifted sanctions on Iran. Iran's getting closer and closer to being able to fully enrich the uranium. They're allowing that. They now just pushed it back 4 months. Another 4 months until we're going to have talks again. What? Until they're done? Until they completely enrich the uranium? Is that what you're waiting for? Not getting involved here, kind of blaming Israel for it, saying that we should go back to the different borders. This administration doesn't support Israel. So my point is, why don't you just come out and say it then? Have the balls to come out and say it, and what's the reason here? And in my opinion, this is going to end up with one of two things. Ceasefire is going to happen. John Kerry is going to act like he had a part of it, which he didn't. But that little comment there, oh, hell of a pinpoint operation here. They're going to blame this on Israel. John Kerry is going to go over there, and the man who met with Mexican officials, the country that we give hundreds of millions of dollars to in aid, and he couldn't even get a Marine that's released from jail that made a wrong turn, and he's going to go over and he's going to be able to structure a ceasefire over the Gaza Strip. Yeah, I'm supposed to believe that. So John Kerry, the joke fraud of Secretary of State. Yeah, I'm supposed to believe that wasn't staged.